Perhaps no other genre of music today has as much of a political impact as rap and hip-hop. Right here on this show, I often feature up-and-coming artists with powerful messages concerning socio-political issues. But when it comes to the mainstream, there's been a concerted effort to commercialize the genre and dilute its purpose to reflect the establishment. Well, two men are trying to change the game and bring hip-hop and rap back to its roots. Paul Porter is a former executive at Black Entertainment Television and has gone on to start the website RapRehab.com. And Sebastien Elkouby is a writer for the website. They join me now to discuss the state of commercial rap today and what can be done to lessen the corporate grip over the music industry. Thanks so much for coming on today. Paul, I want to start with you. As a former BET executive, what is your biggest criticism of the rap industry today?
There's a marriage between the record industry and the, radio and entertainment, MTV. The ownership of these companies are down to a few, and it's, as close as you can to a machine now that turns out garbage 24/7. We went from lyricists to the lyrically challenged. That's what I like to say.
Well said. Sebastien, let's go over to you. You recently wrote a satirical letter from the music industry in which you note the decreasing desire that corporate music rather, for black artists. Why did you feel the need to express this?
Well, it's something that I've been noticing and that people in the industry have been noticing for a while now. A matter of fact, a lot of the feedback that I've been getting is from executives and people in the industry who have been afraid to speak on this for a few years now. And it's very apparent, especially when you're looking at recently the Billboard story that came out in regards to 2013 having no black artists on the Hot 100 charts, or at the top of the charts, which is a first in Billboard's 55-year history. I think it was time to really speak on it, looking at the Justin Biebers of the world, looking at the Robin Thicke's, Justin Timberlake's, and people that are really starting to become the face of rap and R&B today. So it needed to be addressed, and I thought a satire would be the best way to address the matter.
It was a great letter, but Paul, nearly every genre of music has become corporatized, commercialized. I mean, why do you think the mainstream evolution of rap and hip-hop is more troublesome than these other genres of music?
Because they got stuck on stupid, Abby. I mean, for years it's been gangster themes, kill, misogyny, and hip-hop started out as a music that had messages in it, that had passion, that had balance, told happy stories and sad. And up until this year, for the first time, Macklemore became a happy so-called hip-hop record, but that's not the case for most of commercial rap. Most of it is shoot 'em up, bang 'em up, kill 'em, and rape 'em.
And Paul, something you've talked quite a lot about over the last year is Lil Wayne's lyrics that trivialize Emmett Till's death, the 14-year-old boy who was murdered in 1950s Mississippi for allegedly flirting with a white girl. I mean, is this just a case of ignorance, or does it point to a larger problem with corporate rap's reflection of black history?
Well, I mean, somebody's green-lighting the process. We can point fingers at Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, but there's somebody up there in a blue suit that's really profiting off of it. And those are the names that we never talk about. We never talk about Doug Morris or Monty Lipman or Jimmy Iovine. We always get stuck on the rappers. And there's somebody that has rolled this machine, put the money in, and has tossed out this bad product that's really affecting a couple of generations of young kids, black, white, purple, brown, every color.
Yeah, exactly. Sebastien, let's go over to you. It's no secret that corporate rap, as Paul was just saying, I mean, contains misogynist, homophobic lyrics sometimes. I mean, how do you think artists should balance their desire to be edgy and express anger while not advocating discrimination and stand up to their higher-ups that are maybe pushing this?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, artists are also human beings who are to be held accountable. And an artist's job is to express themselves and express what goes on around the world, what goes on in society, and especially when you're looking at hip-hop, which is so impactful and has so much influence on today's youth. It is a responsibility. It's up to them to stand up and actually make a difference. I'm in a unique position because I have one foot in the music industry and I have one foot in the classroom. I'm also an educator. So I actually get to see the type of influence, the type of impact that popular rap music, commercial rap music, has on today's youth. And I have to tell you, it's absolutely frightening. You know, they believe what they hear, they believe what they see, and for many kids who are between 15 and 16 years old, 17 years old, who have actually grown up with the type of rap music that we're in many ways protesting, this is all they know about rap music. And it's having a direct influence on their life choices and their philosophy.
And Sebastien, one of the topics your site continually covers are these endorsement deals signed between musicians, companies, Jay-Z and Samsung, Kanye and Adidas.
Sure.
How does that affect the message of the music here?
Well, you know, the message is bought, if you will. The message is compromised. You know, if you have a deal with Samsung, if you have a deal with Mountain Dew or whoever it is that you choose to partner with, you know, it compromises the integrity of your message. You know, you're no longer free to say what you want. You're no longer free to use your music to enlighten or empower. Now you have to meet a certain agenda, a certain corporate agenda. And that's a problem with endorsement.
Exactly, well put. Paul, what about politics? I mean, let's talk about the roots here. Public Enemy started fighting the power, and now Jay-Z's hanging out at Obama's house every week. I mean, why, how did this evolution come to be about, and why is rap so diluted now from its resistant roots?
Yeah, but Abby, one thing though, you mentioned Chuck D and Jay-Z, but Jay-Z's been rapping about Marcy Projects and dealing rocks for almost 2 decades now. Chuck D, Public Enemy, and some of the forefathers of hip-hop talk politics and policy and fighting the power. So that's what we're missing now. And, you know, I know Seb mentioned earlier that it's really on the artists, but it's really on the record labels and the radio station, because you can always find somebody to give a check to that'll rap about anything dumb that you give them. And that's the real problem here. Until we hold corporations and radio stations and MTV and BET responsible for balance. All I want is balance, a little balance, and we can get some messages through, and maybe these kids can hear something beside garbage. Thank
you so much, both of you. Incredibly enlightening discussion. Paul Porter, CEO, RapRehab.com. Sebastien Elkouby, writer, RapRehab.com. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.